Hello, coolers, and welcome back to Viva Barca. Welcome to the home of everything Barcelona, where we are going to be discussing on the latest as usual. We start with Franck Kessie, as it has been reported that the Barcelona new signing could leave at the end of the season for more playing time. We are going to be discussing on that as we progress. Then, secondly, talking about this report claiming that Barcelona defensive duo Eric Garcia and Jules Kounde are expected to return in time for the Almeria clash. We are also going to be discussing on that. So guys, before we get right into those stories in much detail, please do ensure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Give the video a like and please watch right up to the very end. The idea behind signing Franck Kessie was to add more muscle in the midfield. While it was evident that displacing the regular starters would be difficult, the situation the former Milan man now finds himself in is far from ideal. So far this season, the 25-year-old has started just 4 games, 2 in the league, 2 in the Champions League, and his returns have been underwhelming, to say the very least. This basically means Franck Kessie has gone from being an unanswerable presence in Italy to become a mere squad player who is struggling to get into Barcelona's playing 11. Now it is evident that he wants to get involved more, so if nothing changes this season, there is a high possibility that he might as well leave the team at the end of the season, according to Spanish news publication Sport. For now, everything is far-fetched, but Sport says there are many teams in Italy who are waiting for the midfielder to make a decision. One might expect him to take one in January, as Barcelona would be needing some sort of financial muscle, but it is unlikely that he would leave midway through the season. In June 2023, however, the assessment will have its verdict for sure, and it is very much likely that the Blaugrana would have no problem in parting ways. It must be noted that Franck Kessie arrived in Barcelona on a free transfer from Milan, where he was without a doubt a key player there. Under Xavi, however, he is not able to play at his natural position, which is costing him a place. On top of everything, the competition at the club in midfield is at its extreme, and it is extremely unlikely that he would displace anyone from the current roster, which includes Sergio Busquets, Gavi, Pedri, Frankie de Jong. But despite all the hardships, Kessie remains a beloved player in the Barcelona dressing room. It is even said that he is highly valued by the coaches due to his professionalism, as he has never complained about the situation. But if it stays the same, Franck Kessie might ponder leaving the team next year. It has not been an easy season for Franck Kessie, of course, who left AC Milan, where he was one of the undisputed starters there, to come to Barca on a free transfer, and things have just been a type for him. Of course, Xavi has not fancied him. He's a player who comes with a different profile, physicality he brings to the team, and certain things like that. But we have not seen a lot from Franck Kessie either. Even when Xavi put him in a few games, Franck Kessie does not really bring those things, to the table. And I don't know if that have affected Xavi's decision on playing him regularly. But reports have now been coming saying that the player is not too happy about the situation, as you might expect, and of course, he also considered leaving the club next summer if this situation, or if this all these things continues like this. If it does not play the game time, if he does not feature regularly, he might just consider leaving the next season, of course, according to report from Spanish outlet Sport. So let's see actually if that's what he decides. It's not an easy season. It's not easy that you be one of the players who helped your team the previous year to win a league title, only for you to go to the next club, your new club, and nobody sees you as anything. So let's see how it goes for Franck Kessie moving forward. but the player is hoping that his time will come when he will have many opportunities to play, because right now it's just not an ideal situation for Franck Kessie. And the good thing about him is he's a real professional, because it has been reported that in fact, he have never complained about the situation, about lack of game time. And the Barca coaching staff are really happy. They admire him a lot. His maturity is second to none. So it's great to have him in the squad. And definitely he's a player who brings in that midfield department something different. He's not a guy of flair or technicality. He's more physical, and of course he can help in certain big matches. I don't know if he will be having the game time that he needs, because I think he needs to be playing more to bring back his very best, the best that we saw when he was playing at AC Milan last year. Then on to the next story of discussion. Barcelona made the trip to the Mestalla to take on Valencia 2 days ago in a clash that has historically produced brilliant matches. Why this one was far from an exciting outing for either side, Xavi's men will be happy with the result, courtesy of a 92nd minute winner from Robert Lewandowski. Valencia posed a ton of trouble for the visitors in the night, sitting up in a deep block that had little to no cracks. And even though Barca walked away with a win, they were troubled with two injuries, both to their centre-backs, Garcia and Jules Kounde. However, according to a report from Javi Miguel, neither of the two have picked up a serious injury and are expected to make it back in time to face Almeria next weekend. Before that though, Barcelona will be taking on Victoria Pleasant in the Champions League. Kounde and Eric are unlikely to travel with the team to the Czech Republic. The game has no consequence on Barca's immediate future though, as they have already dropped to the Europa League. As such, Xavi can opt to use one or both of Marcos Alonso and Gerard Piqué as centre-backs. Not to forget, we could also see the return of Andres Christensen, who picked up an injury on the 4th of October versus Inter Milan and has been ruled out since then. Barcelona centre-backs have been falling like bowling spins all season, with both Kounde and Eric picking up their second injuries of the season. Ronald Araujo, meanwhile, has a hamstring injury and will likely only return after the World Cup, which he is expected to miss. This leaves Xavi with just Gerard Piqué in his natural centre-back role. The Spaniard was largely impressive in bits and pieces this season before dropping a horror-class display against Inter at the Camp Nou in the 3-3 draw. However, the Spaniard has been left on the sidelines for the majority of this season, as the coaching staff believe the player can no longer put in consistent top-level displays. With the World Cup on the lodge or the edge, how Xavi and co deal with the recurring injuries to their centre-halves remains to be seen. So guys, with that we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, bye bye.